guys, it's Megan. So in my last video, I showed you how I set up my 2020 bullet journal. And a bunch of you guys said that I should make it into a series. So in today's video, I'll be showing you my January bullet journal setup. But before we get started, I just wanted to let you guys know that I'm having another sale in my merch store. Use the code NEWYEAR10 for 10% off everything until January 4th. And if you're curious about what I got for Christmas this year, I decided to turn that into a blog post, which you can find on my website at www.meganweller.org. I hope you're all having an awesome holiday break, and with all that being said, let's just get into the video. I started my monthly layout by making the cover page. I wanted to keep the theme pretty simple this month, since this is my first monthly spread, so I decided to go for a blue and purple cloud theme. I wrote January 2020 at the top of the page, and I tried out a new font this time. Since I really suck at hand lettering, I found it really helpful to look up different fonts to use for reference. I drew a small calendar on the page, and then I decided to do this little weekly goals tracker. And these are all things that I should probably do once a week, like cleaning my room and my office, and I'm like terrible at putting laundry away, so I put that on there too. And same with taking care of my nails. I always get comments about how gross they are, and I mean, you're not wrong. You know, I just always figure with all the projects that I do, they're just gonna get messed up anyways, so I usually don't bother, but probably should. I drew the blue clouds with my Crayola Super Tip markers, and the purple ones with an Arteza Twin Tip marker. And this ended up being super unnecessary, but I used a water brush to help smooth out some of the dark blue clouds since the marker's kind of streaky. I didn't bother with the light blue and purple clouds though, because they blended together too much with the other colors. I definitely recommend the cloud theme though. This is probably one of the easiest things that you could pick to draw, which is great if you're new to bullet journaling like I am, or if you don't have a ton of time to set up your bullet journal. I'm definitely trying to focus on easier, quicker drawings for this series, and you really don't need to draw anything at all if you don't want to. There are tons of different ways to decorate your bullet journal. You can use stickers, washi tape, post-it notes. I've seen a bunch with like ripped paper that look really cool. I really want to try that sometime. And to make the word January stand out more, I went over it with some white acrylic paint. And I don't know why I didn't just use like a Posca pen or something, but you know, choices. The page looked a little bit too plain, so I used a small paintbrush to add stars into the blue clouds. I drew 3 really simple types of stars, which were diamond-shaped, crosses, and dots. So here's how my finished cover page turned out. It is definitely my aesthetic, and it was pretty easy to do too. On the opposite page, I decided to create a page for Instagram ideas. I should have put a bigger calendar on this page, but I totally forgot about that, so I had to include it a few pages later. Again, I kept this page super simple. I just wrote Instagram ideas at the top, and drew a few clouds at the bottom the same way that I did for the cover page. One of the problems that I have with Instagram is that I never know what to post, so hopefully having a space to put ideas will help. If you guys have any like photography tips or your favorite apps to edit photos, definitely let me know in the comments. Here's what the page looked like when I was finished. And going along with that theme, on the next page I put video ideas. I always write video ideas down in the Notes app on my phone, which works okay, but sometimes I have trouble finding which note I put them in. And speaking of video ideas, if you guys ever have any ideas for me, definitely let me know. I'm always looking for suggestions. Next to that, I made a page for blog ideas. I really want to post more on my blog in 2020. I've started posting about once a week, but I want to increase it to at least twice. Same with YouTube, I really want to try to post at least twice a week in 2020. And for Instagram, ideally, I'd like to post every day, but realistically, I'd be happy with 3 or 4 times a week. And I really don't know why I have so much trouble with that. You know, taking a few pictures should not be that hard, but for some reason, I don't know what it is, but you know, we're working on it. On the next page, I did this 1 line a day spread. And you know, it's terrible, but I always forget what I did during the week, so I'm going to see if I can just stick to writing down a sentence or two about what I did each day. I did the same thing with the clouds on the bottom, but this time I used a Crayola Super Tip to draw lines for every other day. Just, I guess, to make it a bit fancier. And here's what the page looked like when I was done. Next to that, I made a habit tracker. The idea behind this is that you pick a few things that you want to do each day, and every day that you complete the task, you check off a box. I picked 9 habits to track this month. 6 of them are more like personal things, and the other 3 are social media related. The first personal habit that I had was making my bed, because I definitely don't do that every day, but my room looks so much nicer when I do. Next, I put brushing my teeth, which is gross, but sometimes I forget to do it at night if I'm too tired. Always remember in the morning though, thankfully. I also put wake up before 9 because my schedule is really terrible right now. I'll wake up at like 9:30 or 10 and then I won't go to bed until like 2 or 3 in the morning, and I should really get better about that. Then I put retainer because again, I always forget about that. I got my retainer in 7th grade, so quite a few years ago. Well, if you have a retainer or if you get one, just make sure you wear it. That's all I'm going to say about that. But anyways, after that, I put workout, which is really self-explanatory, and shower. Honestly, I don't know why. I think I just wanted to have 6, like a nice even number, because like realistically, if I'm gonna work out, I'm definitely gonna shower. And for the social media things, I put YouTube, Instagram, and blog. Obviously, I don't do these every day, but I wanted to have a visual for how much that I post. Since I had a bunch of extra space left, I decided to make a step tracker underneath. I have a Fitbit which tracks my steps for me, so even if I forget to track it for a few days, I can go back and look in the app. And I'm hoping that having it written down will kind of help me be less lazy. I don't know, definitely come back in February to see if these worked or not. And I had a bit more room in the bottom corner, so I decided to write a quote to fill up the space. I didn't do a ton of decorating for this page. I just colored the clouds light blue and added an extra one down there with the quote. Here's how the finished page turned out. And here's where I finally remembered about the monthly calendar page. I kept this really simple. I just wrote January 2020 at the top and divided the rest of the page into 5 sections, with the day of the week at the top of each column. I drew a few clouds at the top and made the days of the week pink, which was a choice, but if I did this again, I'd probably stick to blue and purple, but it still works. I thought it still looked a little bit plain, so I drew a circle around each number on the calendar. Now, I have a problem where I'll plan to do something on a specific day, but that thing will take way longer than I expect it to, or, something more important will come up. So I plan on writing things like video ideas on post-it notes so that I can move them around if I need to. I found these ones in my desk, so I just cut them to size. I'll have to invest in more later, but these ones will work for now. Eventually I want to make a dashboard like this one for my bullet journal, but for now I just stuck them in the front pocket. And finally we have my weekly spreads. I decided to do weekly layouts instead of daily ones because, let's be real, I would not stick to that. And I really tried to set myself up for success with this layout. So on the left, I made boxes for my YouTube, Instagram, and blog plans for the week. On the right side, I put the dates at the top and made a big to-do list to put underneath. I made a smaller column on the right of the to-do list so that I'd have a place to check things off as I complete them. And instead of a check mark, I think I'm going to end up writing the date instead, so that I know when I did everything on the list. And to decorate my weekly spreads, I colored the background with dark blue, and I colored the top of the to-do list purple. I made the column for the check marks light blue, and used a white gel pen to draw stars all over the dark blue part of the page. I made the cloud a bit more three-dimensional by outlining it with light blue and adding a few puffs to the cloud. I added a bit more detail to the boxes on the left with my purple marker, and when that was done, my weekly spread was ready to go. I did the exact same thing for each week, and I really like how it turned out. And at the last minute, I decided to add another layout to the back of my cover page. I guess you could call this like a theme tracker. I just wrote themes at the top of the page and drew 12 boxes underneath. I've seen other people do this, and there's honestly not really a point to it other than it looks kind of cool when it's filled out. I wrote the names of each month underneath each box, and drew a few stars so that it would match the theme of my first few pages. Of course, I filled in January's theme, and here's what the page looks like so far. So here's the final flip through of everything in my January bullet journal setup. Obviously, I didn't fill any of it out yet, but make sure to come back next month because in that video, I'll show you what worked and what didn't. Also, make sure to let me know which page was your favorite. I think that mine was either the cover page or one of my weekly spreads. Also, let me know if you have any suggestions for other bullet journal themes that I should do. So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more videos just like this one. I also have a website which you can check out at www.meganweller.org. I'll have that, my merch, and all of my social media linked down below. And yeah, I love you guys so much, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Bye!